How different types of radiation affect the human body. Radiation affects us in different ways depending on its type and exposure level. Below is a detailed breakdown of how ionizing and non-ionizing radiation interact with the body. Radiation affects the human body in different ways depending on its type, energy level, and duration of exposure. Broadly, radiation can be categorized into two main types: ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation. This type of radiation has enough energy to remove tightly bound electrons from atoms, creating ions. Ionizing radiation includes X-rays, gamma rays, and particles emitted from radioactive substances. Because of its high energy, ionizing radiation can penetrate deep into the body, potentially causing cellular damage. Prolonged or high-level exposure to ionizing radiation can increase the risk of cancer and other serious health issues. For this reason, medical imaging procedures using ionizing radiation, such as X-rays and CT scans, are carefully regulated to minimize exposure. Short-term effects of ionizing radiation exposure include radiation burns, nausea, and acute radiation syndrome, depending on the dose received. Long-term effects can include genetic mutations and increased cancer risk. Moreover, exposure during sensitive periods, such as pregnancy, can lead to developmental issues in the fetus. Non-ionizing radiation. Non-ionizing radiation includes electromagnetic fields generated by everyday devices such as mobile phones, microwave ovens, and Wi-Fi routers. Unlike ionizing radiation, non-ionizing radiation does not have enough energy to ionize atoms or molecules. However, it can cause effects such as tissue heating and in some cases may disrupt normal biological processes. For example, microwave ovens work by generating non-ionizing radiation that excites water molecules in food, causing them to heat up. Although non-ionizing radiation is generally considered less harmful, concerns have been raised about its potential effects on health, particularly with prolonged exposure to high levels of EMF. Some studies suggest that long-term exposure to high-frequency EMF may contribute to issues such as sleep disturbances, fatigue, and increased stress levels. However, more research is needed to establish definitive links. Factors influencing radiation. Impact. Several factors influence how radiation affects the human body. Type of radiation. Ionizing radiation poses a higher risk due to its ability to damage DNA and cells. Duration of exposure. Prolonged exposure increases the likelihood of adverse effects. Chronic low-level exposure can accumulate over time, leading to potential health risks. Intensity of radiation. Higher intensity or dose results in greater potential harm. This is why radiation doses in medical imaging are carefully controlled. Proximity to source. Being closer to the radiation source increases exposure levels. For example, holding a phone close to your ear exposes your head to more EMF compared to using a speakerphone. Individual sensitivity. Some individuals may be more sensitive to radiation due to genetic factors or pre-existing health conditions. Protective measures against radiation. Understanding these factors can help individuals assess their daily exposure and adopt simple measures to minimize potential risks. By combining awareness with practical steps, you can create a healthier living environment. Simple actions, such as increasing distance from radiation sources, limiting the duration of exposure, and using protective devices like those offered by Rezotone, can significantly reduce overall exposure. Incorporating protective measures into daily life doesn't have to be complicated. Small changes, such as turning off Wi-Fi at night, using wired headphones, or keeping electronic devices away from the body, can make a noticeable difference. Additionally, staying informed about new research and technological advancements can empower individuals to take control of their environment and well-being. Stay tuned for our next section, where we will explore practical steps to create an EMF-conscious living space and review the latest advancements in radiation protection technology.